FTF Conversations. This is your host True. We're back. Thanks for tuning in. You already know the vibes. Here with the LA legend. Come on. Start this thing accordingly.
Respect.
Bless, bro. Zeroh, how you feeling?
Pretty good, man. It's been a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Beautiful morning.
Yeah, started with, we got some, you was actually enjoying this sun out here.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
As I often do. I usually get started outside, so probably been up since like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, what's the mornings be looking like in Zeroh's world?
Early morning, take out the dog, let her do her thing, and then check on the garden, man. Yeah.
And the gardening, like maybe like always, but like a lot these days.
A lot more these days, yeah. It's almost everything to me now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's the balance.
You were calling out a lot of the plants. We out here in Hollywood. We at the beautiful Melrose Hills studio. Took a walk outside, calling out the jade plants and the shade.
Yeah.
You feel like you kind of at that point where you like the vocab is up.
The vocab is vocabbing right now.
Garden vocab.
It really is.
That's fire.
Yeah, I've been kind of absorbing a lot of media around like gardening and just microclimates and soil and food, and kind of just really feeling what that buzzword abundance means. Yeah, it's just my yard has been teeming with fruits and vegetables and stuff. It's been great, to be honest.
How do you connect that to abundance? The garden, and what are some of those thoughts, like visually or like, yeah, that's dope.
It really translates like 1-to-1. Like I go outside and it's just like, what I'm gonna do with all these lemons, dog? Like a nigga don't need 50 lemons. Yeah. Like it's more, and then they fall, and then more trees start sprouting. You know what I mean? Like it's an abundance. Like it's like nature is doing its thing. Pomegranates, mandarins, like just abundance, serious, true overflow.
You know how sometimes we be like moving in that, like, what's the next? When am I gonna get that? Might be waiting a few days on that transfer. Like,
yeah.
Like when you go outside to the garden, does that kind of just on some like just real life, remembering that how to stay in a place of abundance? What does that do for you being with nature?
It kills the anxiety completely. I could be on my last dollar, bro, and like go outside and it's all right.
It's vibes.
It's all right. Yeah. Period. Like it's funny too, and maybe I'll have some money in my account and still be stressing if I don't go outside. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm just kind of in the. We're from here, so we know how expensive it is, and it could just get you. Yeah, it could take you out mentally, spiritually. It could just take you out. So the gardening has given me that counterbalance. Like I'm like, I know that if I ain't got no money for food, I can eat a lemon, I guess.
got pomegranates,
you know, mandarins, peppers, tomatoes.
It's just like a lot of citrus, a lot of amino vitamins.
Yeah, you won't die. Which is where all anxiety probably stems from. You won't pass away. You'll be all right.
Hey, you talk about that. You know, both we from LA. What was your LA like, man? Like, you know, when we connected, you were in Long Beach. Around the time we had connected, I was in Leimert. I'm still in Leimert. You know, what has your LA been like? Things have changed. Things have changed lately.
Oh my God. My LA experience probably a bit unique from other people's, mostly because my personality is of someone on the periphery. I'm never really like in the square middle of stuff. But I was born in Long Beach, and throughout my years up till now, just kind of moved northward. So I've gotten the gamut of the experience here. Long Beach was great, very, very diverse. And in my late teens, late high school, I went to King Drew. So I kind of bobbled between LA and Long Beach. And I don't know, the typical ghetto boy experience, good kid, mad city.
Facts,
you know,
facts.
Just trying to stay on the right side of the tracks.
Were you really were you taking that blue line at all when you were
Oh
coming?
yeah. That blue line, what's it, the A line now? It's different now, ain't it?
Yeah, high key.
I got confused. I went on the train. I was like,
High
wait.
key, it
I was
did
like,
change.
what's going on? I don't know how to get around with these letters. Give me the blue line.
Color oriented.
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
Just like
It's different now, but it's still it's better now. The trains are better. But yeah, my LA experience has been interesting. I mean, I went from not really knowing who I was to really not knowing who I was, and accepting that and not trying to, fit in what was around me. And thank God, because who knows where I would have ended up,
crazy city.
Yeah,
for real.
There's a lot going on. It's a whole lot going on. But I wouldn't even know where to begin. I mean, I'm 34 now, so like that's my whole life, man. That's 3 decades of experience. It's been wild. It's been crazy. It's been beautiful.
What were some of those like early memories of artistry and performance and when you were kind of setting forth on that journey? Like, were you? What did it look like for you to navigate when you're going between Long Beach, LA? I mean, like LA, so many pockets of music too.
Yeah.
And you're an artist who, like, your sound, you can jump around. You're very versatile. Like,
Cheers.
What was it like when you was first getting started?
Getting started, I probably wrote my first rap when I was like 8. I embraced it. I think maybe you had this too, but you're just like, oh, I'm finna do this. This is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm not doing nothing else. And even if I didn't openly admit it or say it aloud, I was just like, oh, I got this. Yeah, you just know. You just know I think I took to poetry because it was more acceptable. Like, I didn't want to like tell my family I was like, oh, I'll be rapping or nothing like that. Just like, oh yeah, I write poems. My grandmother wrote poetry and stuff like that. My mom, my aunt.
Wow.
They all did it. My dad played bass. So music has always kind of been around. So I don't really I say I wrote my first rap when I was 8, but maybe that's just a hallmark point. I probably wrote before then and all of that, but
just in the crib, just all around.
All the time.
Would you say it was like a pretty creative family you came from?
Hell yeah. Oh, so yeah. I mean, my mom sings. My dad plays a lot of instruments actually, but his main instrument is the bass. He doesn't really take to his creative side a whole lot, but he's really good.
Wow.
And yeah, I was just an avid listener. Maybe I started making beats around the time I was 13. So that's early high school. And throughout that process, just becoming a better writer to my idea of what a better writer was. I didn't know nothing.
Right.
So like everything that I was trying to achieve musically probably had already been done. Like, I remember first hearing like the typical cats. And I was just like, oh, like Quasar already did it. Like, he's already amazing at the thing that I'm trying to innovate. Like, I'm stupid,
Yeah. How did you? And that's so funny too. Like when you're in that place of thinking as an artist and just you're just early creativity, but still striving for this originality. Yeah. But it's like almost like because just what you said. You went from not knowing who you were to not knowing even more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something about that brings more freedom or more overthinking in the art. Like, what do you think about that?
I think I was I was just determined to do it no matter what. So when I heard him, or anybody. Yeah, or I heard bus driver. Or when I found out about Project Blow, and like my brain is just getting blown over and over. Like, you know, there's local LA niggas who are like insane at this thing, and I'm like,
that's
baby.
History right there. You just dropped, like, man, it's probably important to just we should echo, like, you just bus driver, Project Blow, like that and that's crazy because like I'll be 27 this year, so I'm like two, 3 tiers of artists under that. But I remember like going to Bananas and seeing that, and it was like, wow, like that same feeling of like, yo, these LA motherfuckers going crazy.
Yeah, and it's like when I found out about it, it was already over. Like it was like, like these records were like 5-6 years old, and I was just like, damn, like I'm 6 years behind on this type of thing. But it also just told me like there's something in the soil of this place. There's something even in like you know, underground music. There's just something about it that's like it has a really innovative energy. They're not trying to be conventional. They're trying to stand out and be individual. And I think I was very concerned with that for a long time. So I guess it didn't really make me get in my head in the way other people would. I just started making more. Yeah. And I probably was really able to like get a handle on it when I decided to do it for a reason. Like it didn't matter if I was as good.
Once you had that why.
Yeah, the why. Yeah, it didn't matter that I wasn't as good as a Quasar or a Bus Driver or A$AP Rock or any of that MF Doom. Just get your brain blown over and over. You just like okay, why? Why do I do this? Like what is it? What do I want to see in the world? Because I was learning a whole lot about, you know, philosophy, different philosophies, other religions, and how they, you know, approach some of these like worldly problems. And I just kind of was like, I think I'm a spiritual nigga. And I didn't see a lot of that at the time. I was just like, I think I'm okay, a spiritual nigga. Like,
you know, when that light bulb, like, oh snap, yeah. I like these bells and I like the plants.
Yeah, I love
like meaning.
I love being outside. I like not wearing shoes and like grounding with the earth, you know. I think like smoking weed was very ritual for me, and I would like look to Rastas, and I was never Rasta or anything, but I would look to them for, you know, wisdom and guidance, and all of that stuff just steeped into me and kind of like made its way into the music. And that's when I was, it doesn't matter if it's the most impressive thing, it's low key just like gotta be me and what I stand for.
Just stemming, it's an extension of everything at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm really curious to just run back through the we'll call it we'll jog the memory. Like I remember getting the Bandcamp newsletters with a new release. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we'll probably have to run one of those records for the folks to listen to real quick, because I think you're trailing on some important times. I mean, you see it like there's especially pop out show. Juneteenth, LA is just up. This whole summer has been
bang,
and it's bringing a light back on the West, especially the artists.
Sure. And
I know, like, you said it, like just that underground or being on the periphery. It's so interesting because I mean we know how much music is out here. We know how much music is out here, but I guess before we play this record of yours, what have been like some of the things you've observed or your thoughts when you see the kind of outer perception or reception of how artists in LA are expected to have output or exist as creatives like that? Like, what do you think about it? Are you like fuck it, let's go against the mold? Do you like it where things are going? Does it make you want to get back in the booth?
I feel like everything makes me want to get back in the booth. Like, I just need a little reason. It's like, like Kobe, like, what that nigga say? What'd he say to me, dog? Did he say my feet was too big? What? Just looking for a reason to rap, looking for a reason to create. Looking at everything that's happening right now, it's so exciting. It's so fun and funny. It's got me looking at my phone again. It's just something I don't really like to do.
Facts.
Yeah. Facts. I'm just like, ooh, what these niggas saying? What these niggas doing? And it's got me making music. 'Cause it's also the summertime. And so I'm like, I'm making music for barbecues. You know what I mean? I'm just like getting in the vibe a lot more. Yeah, it's just inspiring. Like I can't even, I don't know. What was the original basis of the question? Just like what
yeah, just how it makes you feel.
How it makes me feel?
Yeah.
It makes me feel great, man. I grew up here, so when you hear it and you feel it, it just moves you.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of the music that I'm probably gonna release soon it has a nostalgia feelings. It's still left leaning and explores different places, but
right.
A lot of the music that I'm starting to make, I'm just like, damn, I kind of wonder if I can make something that my mama would dance to, or that my cousin would play at the cookout.
Wow.
You know, but also maybe think a little bit. You know, I like to throw those things in there, but yeah.
Absolutely.
That's experimental for me because most of the time I'm so far left sound designing and you know, trying to create new pockets and all of this stuff that, you know, that which I grew up on is almost foreign to me. So I like to explore it. It's fun. It's really dope.
Hey, facts.
Yeah.
Hey, FTF Radio, we gonna jump into some Zeroh records and then keep that conversation going as we continue on the journey. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Cheers.
FTF Radio, Conversations with Zeroh.
Yeah.
We're getting into some music, philosophy. You got a upcoming records you're talking about to release cookout music.
Sure. Yeah. I got sick of not putting out music. So
how long has it been since the release?
I actually dropped an EP not too long ago, maybe like a month or two ago. I'm bad with time, but it was recent.
Yeah, what was that called for the listeners out here?
It was called Some Light, SUMLYTE. Yeah, a play off of the phrase. You know, it's just some light. You know what I mean?
Where did that come from? Your use of like, I don't want to call it like acronyms because it's not, but yeah, like I noticed the 3 letters a lot, like the light, use of light, you know, BLQ. Like, I mean, you're an intentional person.
That's
even
true.
if it's just like, you know, we stumble there, like, like, you know, where did that kind of stem from?
It's probably something more subtle. It's like internet shorthand. There was just a period of time when niggas just said fuck vowels and they just started like cutting out the vowels and things or cutting the E's off of it. Shit, you know, just like it's just truncated. So it's like a very condensed idea. Yeah, my girl was talking to me about that, and like there's like it's like not a spiritual concept, but like something that they do where they take out all the vowels of a word and then they create a shape out of it, and it kind of serves as a mantra. You know, I'm afraid.
A shape of like a sound shape, or writing it out like like something you're.
Yeah,
looking
like
at.
You could do like a cross. Like she did a cross that said Savage Lover. It was SVGLVR.
Oh,
and it was just
yeah.
It's just like you know, you look at it and you know what it means immediately. You don't have to read it. You know what I mean? It just cuts to the quick. So maybe I didn't do that on purpose, but it kind of serves that purpose. But yeah, it's just shorthand, and I don't know. I like Q's for K's. Blacklight was just a concept that I built around for a record I did back in 2020 or something like that. And it's just like I had a really terrifying experience on psychedelics that like changed me forever, and I just wanted to encapsulate that in a record. So if anybody was ever wondering, that's what that is.
That's really cool to hear that, because I remember listening to I remember this, bro, the sound design on that record. Like that was one of those records that definitely like you can see the intentions of sound travel and textures, and I mean, shoot, let's get into that too a little bit. You know, sound design. Yeah, like what's kind of your most enjoyable moments in being a shaper of sound?
My most enjoyable moments,
or a part of it. What's most enjoyable about it?
Say that one more time. The last one.
Yeah, what's like most enjoyable parts of being like a shaper of sound?
Oh man, just the way it makes you feel. I absorb a lot of media, a lot of movies, films, and the part that makes it for me is always the music and the sound design. So I think conceptually at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a movie. So the music was a movie. The album was supposed to be a film. Blacklight. Yeah, and I worked on it for a really, really long time with the intention of like filming for it and all of that. But then it just got too long. Like I was just like, it's been 5 years or something like that. 7. It came up to about 7 years where I started the idea way back then, and then it all kind of came together. Leaving Records was like, we want to put this out like immediately, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta finish it. It's supposed to be a movie, and he was like, nah, we ain't got time to make a movie right now. You know, and the
streets need this now.
Yeah, well, luckily, I have friends who can just give me a deadline, and they'll, cut me off right there. Like, all right, like.
Is that sometimes like really important for you as a generator?
Hell yeah, because I'm gonna just keep making shit and keep improving upon the idea and polishing it. None of my projects, none of my songs are finished. If you ever listen to my music, maybe you could tell. I don't know. Maybe
depend on how hard you listening, right?
I know. I mean, I just don't. I can't finish a song because it's alive and it's like teaching me things. So yeah, it's nice when you're working with the label and they're just like Friday, and you're like, oh shit, all right, just let me sew it up, and finish it up, because I don't necessarily rely on my music making for living. It's not
right.
It's not for profit, so to speak.
Talk about that. I think that's something that a lot of especially when I think about like some of the younger homies I see like starting, I'm like, that's so important to remember, like, because that's a feeling that I don't know, like I'm just learning how many musicians don't actually get that feeling where it's like, oh, like, yeah, like this is your living, right? Like, and that's not a judgment, but more so an observation of, I see the sustainability. That's like, how they're sustaining themselves or not able to sustain themselves from like a nurturing, emotional, soul, spirit place. Like that's a real blessing to not have to live on music. Like people, it's like, dang, that's the goal for so many, but
it's true.
Why is that such a why is that something that you feel like you even shared, and why is that something like that's on your mind? Why do you notice that?
I don't know. I just I'm lucky that I don't have to do that. I think I did at one point.
Does it affect your creative process too?
When I have to make music for money?
Yeah, or even not having to. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, obviously, when the records gotta come out and you gotta push them and promote them, and I don't know, you can kind of get burned out, I guess, on music. I didn't get burned out when I was like making music for money. Like that was actually a really beautiful time. Because everybody around me was as well. Yeah. Ras G, Suarvi, like they really put me in the mind state of like, you can be a full-time musician. You can just sit here and work and put out all of your stuff, and you'll find your audience. and they come to appreciate you, and it just grows and grows and builds like that. That's beautiful in and of itself. But a lot of people, I feel like, have that desperation energy. You know, I feel like that could really tear you up. I've seen that tear a lot of artists up. You know, trying to compete. I don't want to compete.
That just becomes a byproduct of that hunger you get trying to get more.
Yeah, and I think it's built a lot in like capitalism. Like, I feel like capitalism could like ruin music for a lot of people. I think at that time when I was making music all the time to put it out, I was living in Lamert, and I was like just enjoying like my cheap rent, you know, my roommate situation, and it just all came together like that. We were just constantly inspired. So like it was just gonna happen, whether or not I was getting paid for it or not.
Yeah.
And that maybe that's the important part, is just like, if it's coming out like that, if you making bangers, if you rapping and writing all the time, and it's just coming to you, you gonna live off it. Like, it's gonna feed you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's gonna give you the energy that you put into it. So
without necessarily having to strive or chase or do anything outside. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people might get caught up in the language around like what Spotify tell you to do, or what I don't know, just like what it means to be an artist right now. You gotta be dropping all the time or something like that. Like, yeah, I don't believe that for 1 second.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's some painters who have an exhibition every 10 years or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes it worthwhile because you've been waiting on it. There's a lot of niggas that I just like, I can't wait for they drop. And it's been 6 months. Like, where's that, nigga? Like,
yeah, thanks.
Like my boy Young Morpheus, or you see Knowledge. Knowledge is so prolific. You know what I mean?
I think I just got put on the Morpheus too.
Young Morpheus?
I think it's gonna be a terrible way to try to identify, but his profile picture like a gray photo.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I just tapped in on Morpheus. Yeah,
Tap
very hard. Very hard. Yeah, who else you listening to these days?
Who else I'm listening to?
Yeah, who stuff you really bumping right now?
Really bumping? Who stuff?
Whether it's LA or from anywhere.
Who stuff I'm really bumping? I've been taking to a lot of like singer songwriters and stuff like that lately. I don't know. This cat McGee, you heard McGee?
Oh yeah. On the guitar.
Yeah, that shit is so fire.
Hey,
I don't understand how niggas ain't making shit like that right now. Like, I'm like, this nigga, it's like Prince and BBD and this. I was just like, this is crazy. Like, this is my shit right now. This is what I grew up on. This is what my pops would play. I hit my pops up immediately after I heard that. I was like, you need to listen to this shit.
Didn't he go to USC or somewhere? He around LA type shit?
Yeah, the story, because I talked to a brother who went on tour with him and backed him up, and he's just like, yeah, like he went to some jazz school. Maybe it was USC.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
he moved out.
Like, he a real musician though. Like, he really,
yeah. He went to like a jazz program, and then, you know, like other artists, you know, they get disillusioned and then they leave. They're just like, I'm learning theory. Like, goddamn, like I just want to feel something. I don't know if that's bro's story or not, but
hey, shout out McGee, man. We got to run that. Yeah,
it was really, really, really good music. I was really excited to hear that. But yeah, but mostly that, and just everybody who I've been working with.
Yeah,
like,
and you work with a ton of artists. I mean, maybe most people wouldn't know unless they like really, like, you're also doing a lot of mixing and mastering.
Yeah,
behind the scenes, helping other artists bring their visions to life, or helping the jobs get done, helping those deadlines get met. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Being an artist in a place of creation and servitude, bro. Like, that's a lot to, you know. We were just speaking on that. I mean, what's that experience been like for you?
It's been great, man. I cannot complain. It's awesome. I think for a long time, just being on that periphery, maybe it gave me a lot of perspective. But I was just trying to figure out how to make shit slap. You know, my friends were like putting out records and like, you know, trying to be somebody, and I was just kind of listening and watching that whole time. So I was just like, why does this one beat so hard? Like, what's going on? Like, so mixing and all of that, I just always had a question. And luckily I met many people along the path that, you know, give you guidance and free game. We talked about Daddy Kev a little bit. Anytime I would talk to him, anytime me and John would link up with him, he would have so much to say, so much information and tricks and tools. And I'll just pick it up. Maybe it probably looked like I wasn't listening, but I was definitely listening.
Hey, I feel that. I feel that. I be giving people that. Nah, shout out Kev, man. Like one of the real ones. Like one of the people who not gonna let you look foolish or sound foolish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna make sure you know how to stand right. Also talk about, man. You talk about you know, man. Rest his soul. We were just giving energy. We're giving props out to Ras G. You know, Lena played at the show for him maybe a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Man, yeah, bro. You were really tapped in that space. You were around for that time. A lot of the early movements in Lamert.
Yeah.
What were some of those stories, some of those moments from your perspective? What did you remember?
What, like Low in Theory and
more Lamert, Raj. Well, yeah, because it is low. It's still low, even though that's all the way.
Yeah.
Bro, and these are connections that I think people need to be reminded of. Like even Kev doing Scenario now, right? They just had 3 years, and that's such a. It's like, it's not. It's like a huge story of how we even arrived there for LA, and I mean, I'm just a nerd about that shit because, like, you know. But I would love for people to hear that from someone who lived and was there. Like I was the 16-year-old sneaking in often, like the 17-year-old sneaking in. First time I snuck into Low in Theory, I got kicked out because I didn't have my ID. Like, you know, and then it's crazy. And then I end up hosting the very last one. Like I hosted the last one, and that was Ras G was there.
Yeah.
That was Mind Design was there.
Full circle.
That was
oh my God.
Who else? Like right there and. That was right there at the Regent. Yeah. And then Scenario picked up from there.
True.
But before that, like Low in Theory has a lineage. Low in Theory, Project Blow, like this is LA history as far as like any artist who made it. A lot of people, their favorite artists, they didn't do nothing in LA without coming through Project Blow or Low in Theory.
It was kind of like a proving grounds place. And you know, I would dabble in there. I would like, I mean, I missed Project Blow. I think I might have pulled up to one, maybe one, you know, maybe something similar. And I would go to Bananas, and I played at Bananas maybe once or twice, and just cut my teeth in front of audiences, local audiences, which, you know, sometimes could be pretty tough, you know. Low in Theory was like a really great space. They actually allowed me to like grace the stage, rap and stuff, even though it was very beat centered. Right. You know, like I think for the first maybe year or two of Low in Theory, it was like it was only No Can Do on that stage. you couldn't go out there and rap for real. But I was embraced by DiBiase.
Shout out DiBiase.
And my brother Ras G. They recognized.
Wow.
Yeah. They really did give us a leg up because I was 18. I had crosses on my hands. I couldn't drink, and I was in there.
Wow.
Yeah. I was in there though. I was like having an amazing time, and it all seemed so magical. Like you could just. Something was definitely in the air and the water of Los Angeles during that period of time.
Right.
It was burgeoning. The world was listening. And it was all based in innovation. So it was exactly where the fuck I needed to be, you know?
You feel like a lot of that, obviously, but a lot of that laid the groundwork for just kind of your own explorations.
Oh, period. Like, I didn't go in there like handing niggas my mixtape or nothing, but I was just, you know, talk to people, you know, and, you know, smoke a blunt with G on the patio and damn near pass out. And just kind of, express that I was looking for a challenge.
Wow.
Like, I wasn't looking for no boom bap at that time. I was like really,
anything.
Yeah, I was really into Flying Lotus and Daedalus. And like, I didn't know about G's music until I met a brother named Koopma, and I think I showed him a beat. Like, my friend was like, yo, that's the dude, you need to like show your music too. And I was like, okay, I'll let him hear some stuff. And he was like, sounds like Ras G. Like, like shove me down. I was like, damn,
so
like
funny.
Who's Ras G?
African
like,
space base type beat. Like,
yeah. I was just
funny.
like, well, maybe he's dope then.
Facts.
Because I liked what I was doing. So
there's familiarity. There's a mirror there. Like,
exactly.
Wow, it's so funny you talk about the blunts too. That's the first time I ever interacted with Ras G. He like showed me how to roll a backwood, and that mug was. That was the space
rarest
program.
how-to.
Yeah, nah, facts. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did have a rare smoke session with Ras G. Like, I didn't realize how rare that was. Like, he don't just blow with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
like,
nah, he does not.
That was like, I took a trip to the space base. Like, not the physical location, just the in spirit.
No, for real, no. It's space base is wherever he is. If you in his orbit, you in space base. And he'll let you know it. He'll pass you that blunt, and you'll float off somewhere that you never been.
That's real.
He was the first person to make me realize. I was like, I've never really smoked weed before. I've been microdosing this whole time. I was like, damn, I actually feel better. Like, my feet was hurting. They feel great now. He just
I don't got that same.
He like, you good now, right? Yeah.
Wow.
It's funny.
Wow. Beautiful times. Beautiful. And it's amazing that those are the types of connections that music can bring us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sound and
G is a forever brother, and he didn't really mess with rappers back then, so it was a super honor that he was like rocking with me, and I appreciate every moment of time that I spent with him. He showed me a lot, told me a lot, and when he passed, his grounding energy disseminated to all our friends. I used to be really anxious and worried about things and heady about my music and all that. And he just laughed, look at me like, you young buck,
with that chuckle, yeah. Wow.
Just laugh you off, and now that's me, now I'm
Facts.
Just like rolling big blunts and like
Facts.
Sitting back and taking it all in and kind of giving perspective to other young artists who are probably a little bit too in their head about it,
All of us, man. All of us. Like, there's so much. I feel like we on Twitter less and less these days, but
yeah,
I definitely remember connecting to just certain affirmations or observations you share, and it's like, man, good to know I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why it's dope. I feel like it's interesting too. Like, we've performed together, we shared the stage a few times. I've had you like we've played shows, and I'm like, if I think about it, the music that we had, I was probably stuck on. Like, I don't think it. I can't. No, it came out, but it was so long because of the same thing. But I do remember a time where there were some things you told me about just being in my head and trusting process.
For real. Me?
Right. I never seen it coming days. I
ain't never seen it. I bumped that recently.
Still, because I don't know how I even, like, here it's wild. Like, there was so much just a feeling of just due that I carried back then too, that I feel like I lost for a little bit as I started to learn more. And I'm like, I be watching videos of us perform that, like, how the hell was I, bro? Like, I don't know. Cause you was on stage with 3 mics, 2 mics. Hey, we gotta run that clip. I'm gonna have to run that clip.
Doing too much.
But like
3 much.
It's wild, like, admiring your craft. Like, same feeling. That same feeling you spoke about when you're like, bro, these motherfuckers already done did it. Like, that's how I was feeling, like, just this youngin', like, bro, it's crazy. Like, what the hell? Like, he done did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I tried it.
Yeah,
I tried it.
It's cool to hear that in your story, like that energy, like that grounding. A lot of that guidance is definitely felt like just naturally, bro. Like it's really dope. With this music upcoming, when can we expect to hear some of that? Like,
that's a good question. I was supposed to turn it in the 15th of last month. I done let all these other deadlines kind of like cut in the way of it, but soon I've been trying to finish it up before I go on tour with these cats. I'm doing some front of house sound on tour, so
fire.
Yeah,
front of house.
Yeah.
Well, you know what console you on?
I think this Japan one it's a SL6. It's a little Avid joint.
That's the new one. They got the newest. I seen the new joints.
Yeah, they're just like these huge ones and shit. Yeah.
That
it's cool. Most of the time, I'm lucky enough that I go there and like the engineer's there and it's like, you know how to use this, and I'll be like, not really, but I know how it's supposed to sound. And I mean, once they show me, you know,
it's all team
how to send things to a reverb, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. Like,
yeah, it's just I feel like every console would be learning the sends.
Yeah, you gotta learn the sends. People be trying to get you to do groups and all that stuff. I'm a mixing engineer, so I don't necessarily need all of that stuff. I just need to know where it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I won't be muting anything in the middle. You know, I won't be riding I only ride a vocal because that's the most dynamic part of a performance. If somebody turn their head, I'm like, all right. And then they start screaming, I bring them down.
But everything else, you're leaving in that same space.
Everything is pretty locked in, man. Yeah, it's not an easy job because it's like high stakes, but more often than not, I could learn the console within the time it takes to sound check.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah, I'll probably knock out this record. It's done already. I was hoping to get some more people on it, you know, get some more people involved, but everybody is busy doing their own thing. So like I said, you know, my music is gonna be unfinished. It's just gonna come out the way it is right now, and I already killed my deadline, so I gotta like maybe by the 15th of this month I could do it, you know. Yeah, just trying to knock that out. I got like 5-6 other projects in my lap that I have to try and finish up too before this tour. So
amazing.
Yeah.
That's dope. Well, hopefully we'll get to not even hopefully, we'll definitely be running that. Hopefully maybe we'll get a little sneak peek in.
Yeah.
We'll throw some in rotation.
I'll give you a joint from the record. Why not?
Yeah. We'll get into that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, some new exclusive FTF Radio. You know what I'm saying? New Zero for the streets.
Y'all can have it.
FTF Radio. We've been in conversation with Zeroh. This your host True. For anybody just tuning in, thanks for listening. We just got into some new music. What else can we expect from the world of Zeroh just coming up in the near future?
I don't know. Expect nothing at all. not to say like don't expect anything from me at all.
That is the way to say it though.
Yeah, it's like expectations can be betrayed in a number of ways. I don't know if you've heard.
Life lessons, actually important life lessons. Important life lesson right there.
Expect the unexpected. That's just kind of been my MO from the jump. So, you know, I may surprise people with something. But then again, they probably wouldn't be surprised because they've come to expect the unexpected. So that's it. Expect the unexpected.
Any vacation plans?
Nah. It's all the travel is for work right now. Man. But maybe after, actually.
Because when do you leave for tour?
We have a little 5-day stint in Japan, and then we go back out August 16, I think, to Europe, and then as soon as we come back, maybe like 5 days after that, we're on a U.S. tour.
Okay.
So like it's like bang bang.
Fire. Is this with a new artist? Last time I remember we ran into each other in Chicago actually.
Oh word.
Yeah, remember at the that was No Name's block party.
That was amazing.
Yeah, shout out No Name. Hey, shout out No Name, Sav, Pivot Gang, the whole Chicago crew. That was a beautiful time out there last summer.
Yeah, Chicago's up too, man.
Chicago's up right now.
Yeah,
Chicago's
big
up.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. This tour, these run of shows is with the artist named Idris. Yeah, Idris is I mean, he makes all kinds of music, but I think people really know him for like indie rock, punk. He's random, man. He's super fun too.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's done very well for himself. Most of the audience members of the shows are very young kids, which is like very interesting. Like just the energy of like kids going to their first concert and stuff like that. He really does capture the youth energy with his music. So it's cool, and he's just been my bro for quite some time. So when they were out of front of house engineer, they tapped me, and I was like, I think I could do it.
Hey, talk about preparation, right?
Yeah. I watch some YouTubes. I look at the different consoles and see the inner workings, and it works out every time, 100%.
Hey, it's gonna be a good bit for the console head community. Like,
my god,
some of my favorite content when we were traveling last year, it was like seeing like the cable tie races, like the back. Like I was a part of the backline boys, so my job was to bring the cables and set up on stage, make sure all the auto tune right, make sure. So we just became a fan of rapping wires. Who could rap wires the fastest?
Oh yeah, yo, I could do that with my eyes closed.
Hey, I'm like maybe second or third runner right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not too quick. I'm still, we up there.
I'm dumb quick, and I am compulsive too. So like if I just see a wire, I don't know, maybe Kev can confirm this, but I was like so blitzed at the zoo. Like he had a box full of wires that were just like gnarly, and I was just like,
oh, in the back room.
Yeah, I just wrapped them. I just like wrapped everyone. There were, I don't know how many cables was in there.
You wrapped all them joints.
I wrapped them.
That's crazy. I remember that room with the volcano back there.
Yeah. It was a crate full of shit, because not a lot of people have been going to the zoo. Maybe they have been more recently, but it was kind of like nobody was really going there. And I asked to use it one day, and I saw them cables, bruh, and I spent a good hour just rapping. I couldn't help myself.
Wow.
It's one of the one things that I really took away from audio engineering school.
Facts. You know what? Before we get out of here, top 3 to 5, never forget engineers, mixing engineers out here. 3 to 5 things you should never forget.
Oh wow. 3 to 5 things you should never forget as an engineer, like a mixing engineer.
Yeah, mixing engineer. It's never too simple. Some of these things be so.
Yeah, like never underestimate EQ, man. Like EQ is. If somebody told me that like I need a record mixed and mastered, but you can only use EQ, I'd be like, all right, cool. I could do it like that. Obviously, some compression would be kind of nice. Well, I could do it with EQ, to be honest. It's just, and I do a lot of cut. I don't do a lot of boost. And I'm a fan of cutting. So yeah, don't forget that. I don't know, man. There's power in subtlety. That's for sure. Like a little bit of compression, especially in mastering, can go a long way. Just a little bit. You don't have to crush it. You know what I mean? So it's like mastering is soft pedal. So tap the brake.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, tap the brake. And never forget. You can achieve the same things You can achieve similar results in the box that you can get with analog gear, but analog gear would save you a lot of time.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a great one.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. It'll say you put up that extra 10 bands to get that shit that work good. You could probably save yourself 10 hours. Like, you know, that's a lot of life.
That's a lot of life. That is. You could easily make another 10 bands in 10 hours.
Yeah, type shit.
one could say, like,
yeah.
That's really great. I love you said never forget never underestimate EQing.
Yeah.
Cutting, more cutting, less boosting.
Yeah.
Power of subtlety.
Yeah.
And then you just said the last one that is now escaping my brain.
But
it's because I think EQing, I really love that one in particular because a lot of times you hear never forget your compressor, which we know you could, like, you could be on one, you could only have a compressor and do great, but I've never, that's a great take. That's a rare find right there.
Yeah, because it's in that order for me, you know, EQ compression, because if you compress something for the character or for the dynamic, you know, just kind of squashing the dynamics, making everything more even, you could be also bringing up unwanted frequencies, you know what I mean? Like
that are unneeded, right?
Yeah, and it'll take up space in the mix. So like I can have a very basic dynamic, super dynamic mix that's not compressed at all, but it'll sound great because there's no, you know, off frequencies. It's just like, oh, there's some crazy harmonic resonance happening in the high end. This person's voice, the way it hits off his teeth or something. Hey, how you doing? Good. It can hit off your teeth in a way that just like makes it ring in the microphone, and it's just like you need to get rid of that. Like in order to have a good listening experience, you're gonna have to get rid of that. But I don't necessarily need to compress it. It just makes it, it doesn't, I'll say that you do need it. Like, I like having both, but like EQ first, because it's just like a process of elimination thing, you know? It's nice. Before you shape and characterize the sound, just get rid of the shit you don't need.
Right, just give it a little remove. It's like, otherwise, why are we boosting all this that's redundant anyways?
It's going to take up space and make it harder for you in the end. That's how I see it.
Hey, that's some facts right there. You heard it here first. Like, that's...
Or for the 40th time.
A lot of these notes do get redundant.
They do. No, that's all good.
Zeroh, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming through, joining us, sharing. If there's anything else you want to let the people know to just be in tune with, or a message you want to leave our viewers with?
Yes. Be in tune and attuned to yourself, your environment. Be quiet and observe, you know. There's a lot of stuff going on, and the more you know, it could kind of like take you out, but just try to keep grounded. The more attuned to yourself and your environment, the more you go outside and all of that, it'll contextualize it all for you. And you know, everything here is made up, so just know you can make something up too. You know, you can make it better just by existing in a certain way. So yeah, that's what I will leave with y'all. I hope y'all have a good day.
Bless, bro. Thank you. FTF Conversations with Zeroh. Make sure you stay tuned in.
Respect.
See you in the garden.
Yeah, my nigga.
Come on.